Hold it like this.
Will I stay where I was like this?
Yay. What's up? You just go to the car because of the kids.
Well,
Oh,
no,
brother.
it's fine. It's fine. No, it's totally fine. My partner is like shopping, so I'm just in the in the car. I'm like one of the kids is gone, and then the other one is asleep. So I just don't know
I
how
hope
long
they
we'll
are
have, but
sleeping
it'll be
as
good.
well.
So
How are
which
you,
way do you
man?
want
How
me to
you
go?
doing?
Will
I
I
hope you're doing.
am or
I can you.
is this okay?
Yeah, it is okay. I have no problem. You can make it like how I make it, like not in that way. I think it's going to be better because the people are watching.
Like this?
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, yeah.
Oh, people are on already. Oh,
Yeah, right now we are live, okay? Yes, now we are live.
oh
Yes,
wow.
now everyone got the notification. Yes. Now everything is
Yeah.
fine. Can you hear my voice as well? Just for confirmation, the picture and internet. I'm not sure about my internet in Gaza.
Of course. Well, I can hear you perfectly anyway. If the folks back home can hear, because I can hear you perfectly. Let's just
Yes, yeah,
see.
okay, now everyone join as well. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special live stream. Today we do have a beautiful and wonderful guest from, he's like we can say, an Irish comedian activist who stand with solidarity with us in Gaza. Um, brother, they are bombing here. Like, I think that the ceasefire got end as well. We just
Oh
started
my
live
God.
and there is a bomb ahead of me right now at this moment. Anyway, the ceasefire today in Gaza, there is something horrible is going on. I don't know what's going on exactly, but anyway, let's continue our live. Like we know this, them hate and them violence every day and every minute. We used to this. So please, everyone, welcome Tadhg Hickey. Welcome to my beautiful live stream. What an honor, brother.
Oh, what an honor for me, man. To hear the bombs in the background, though. I know you're trying to,
Yeah.
continue with your work and continue with your YouTube, but I mean, somebody said to me when I came back from the Freedom Flotilla that the people in the flotilla are so resilient for getting through the flotilla. And then I had a message from you, I hope you don't mind me saying, about today,
Yeah, of
trying to
course.
schedule today. And you were saying, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have internet because my house, my tent has been destroyed again. And I just thought, in terms of resilience, like we don't know resilience. You guys know resilience. And I know I've said this to you before. I'm almost sick of describing Palestinians as resilient myself because there's something kind of almost trivializing in saying that. But please just tell me what's been
Yeah.
going on with you since the so-called ceasefire has been called so far.
A ceasefire, like we can say right now, brother, it's just like a lie. Can you hear it in the background? They are far away, but they are
Yeah, I
shooting
can
and
hear it
doing this stuff.
perfectly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear it.
So today, since this morning, everything got different. They are shooting everywhere and bombing in some areas. And by the way, I just updated today. There is an area which is called Al Zawaid area, and this is where I right now I'm talking to you from. They bombed here near to us, and there was people who got injured, and some people they passed away. So that means that this is the what they are trying to do just to break this ceasefire. They wanted to continue them hate and them violence. They want just to trying to do anything to break it. And by the way, just to let the people know who they are watching, some people ask me about this ceasefire, many questions, and people just
Yes.
wondering if we have to believe it or not. I'm telling all the world do not believe it because even while they are stopped bombing, if they are not bombing at all, brother, there is some group of people which called criminals, we can call them. They are supported by Israel, and this group of people are stealing the aid since the beginning of the war. Some people what we're asking, like, there is some trucks entering Gaza, so why these trucks are not reaching the people? It's
Yeah.
because of these group of criminals who they are supported by Israel, so that's why. Now, this group of criminals, they are killing the activists, the journalists, and everyone who's speaking for Gaza. If you heard about Saleh al Jafarawi, he passed away because
Yes.
of this, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do not believe it. Anyway, thank you so much, by the way, for everything you do for Gaza. It's such an honor. And despite all of this, wallah, we are getting hope in Gaza when we see some activists like you and people just speaking and taking actions. By the way, guys, Tadhg Hickey not only speaking and sharing our voices, he have take actions and he was a part of the global sumud flotilla when
Yeah.
you
Well,
was
on
a
that.
part the global sumud flotilla, and tell us about everything that going on with you there.
Yeah, on that night, like you were on my mind, and my other friends in Gaza were on my mind. That our whole focus was getting to Gaza. So like the interception, even though we had trained for it, I should say, it was heartbreaking because then we realized that we weren't actually going to reach Gaza. And I think I'd been in touch with you like the day before, or maybe 2 days before we were intercepted, and I had messages from people on the beaches and whatnot. And it just would have meant everything. It was a lifetime's ambition to get to Gaza. So we were really heartbroken and disappointed. But then I had messages from yourself afterwards. And when we got home, we realized, and I really wanted to say this to you, that there is something to it. There is definitely something happened with the global Sumud flotilla where I'm not just saying this, there's people who've always been active about Palestine. There's people who've been out on the streets in the last 2 years, but now it's even bigger, it's even greater. I'm sure you saw that while we were in prison, Italy, for example, was pretty much on fire. The cities all over Italy were ground to a standstill. Their economic system was brought to a halt because the Italians, they've got a strong trade union scene, and they're just saying, the ordinary Italian is saying, enough is enough. We don't care that our government supports this fascistic, racist, apartheid, mass murdering government. We don't support them, and they brought their economy to a halt. So I am trying to do my bit in Ireland to grind the Irish economy to a halt because we still have a roaring trade with Israel, which is so shameful to tell you that, but we
Yeah.
do. But I just want to say that things are happening, and I know they're not happening anywhere near fast enough. And I know it's for you to even hear things are happening when you're literally under fire right now as you speak to me. But the Global Smooth Flotilla has gotten people aware of the atrocities of Israel, some people who were never aware before. And we've been banging our heads against the wall to try and get people active for a long time. But there's something about the Global Smooth Flotilla that has been very effective, I have to say. I've got people coming up to me all the time now who never were interested before talking about Palestine. It's too little too late, of course, but at least it really feels like, I think 100,000 people have signed up to go on the next flotilla. So if the Israelis thought that sending us to terrorist prison and sending us and putting us in Palestinian prisoner clothing and treating us a
Yeah.
fraction of
Yeah.
the way they treat Palestinians, if they thought that was going to turn us off, actually the opposite has been the case because 100,000 have signed up already. So I just wanted to say that to you and tell your listeners that there is some hope that has come out of the Global Smooth Hotel, even though sadly we did not get to Gaza, even though one of the boats, I'm sure you probably know this already, I think one of the boats got something like 20 nautical miles
Yeah.
from the beaches of
There is
Gaza.
a boat.
So
I hear there is a boat at like 9 miles. That was like
really, wow.
Like, yeah, there is a boat. I forgot the name of it, but it was very close. And nearly this boat did it and it break this illegal siege. And by the way, I said that before. If you didn't reach the shores of Gaza, wallah,
That's
your
right.
message has reached us as well. And you have break the silence of the world. It doesn't matter that you have to break this illegal siege because government failed to do this. But
Yes.
you have done the big part, I swear, and you have given so much hope for us in Gaza. And many people, they are like people ask where these people of Gaza getting that much of hope and that much of
Yes.
resilience. But wallah, this is we get it from your actions and from your voices. Everything you can imagine you can do could make a huge difference here. We are just trying to find where any point of hope from people,
Yes.
so we feel that we are not forgotten. That's what we want exactly. So it was a beautiful mission. And by the way, after this mission, as you saw that the ceasefire happened here in Gaza, the
Yeah.
ceasefire that they call it. But anyway, it's better than the situation before. So there is a different. Every step you guys are doing, there is a huge difference you have done. And after the
It,
global Sumud flotilla, and after everyone, if you saw in the streets, everyone is protesting for Gaza. Everyone, like you have really, you have like tell the world what is happening in Gaza. You have put all of the eyes on us. And by the way, I've noticed that all the activists in the time of while they are so near to being intercepted on aboard the global Sumud flotilla, instead of that, they have to say that keep your eyes on us on the global Sumud flotilla. They have saying that keep your eyes on Gaza. So voila, that
yeah.
means a lot. Every activist, and also including you, I have seen some stories of you guys that you, especially in that risk time that you are in, you keep saying keep your eyes on Gaza. So that means the world to us.
Thank you,
So
brother.
we are telling you all do not stop because everything you do could make a huge difference, and we love you so much. I mean, this
Thank you,
mission
brother.
should never exist.
Can I ask you a question, right? So people who be listening this, and when I share it later, the people who will follow me, right? So at the moment in the
Yeah,
West, there's this push to believe that the peace plan is the answer, that there is a ceasefire, and that the marches and the protests for Palestine should stop now because we have this ceasefire and we have this peace plan. So can you just give me your message to people in the West who mightn't be as strong, passionate about this cause and might want to drop out now because they've given a lot of time to it? Is there a peace plan worth talking about? Is there a ceasefire worth talking about? What are you experiencing on the ground right now that you can tell people in the West?
For the people in the West, we have to say that they don't have to believe something called ceasefire and the peace plans that they are doing. Ceasefire doesn't mean a free Palestine. It doesn't mean the freedom of Palestine. Ceasefire is just that they are. It must be the freedom, and it must be like a ceasefire as what it is mean. But the problem that ceasefire of the zombies, we can say it's not a ceasefire. Every time they are trying to break it, they are trying to do anything just to break this ceasefire. And I'm telling all the people in the West, keep speaking and keep taking actions, because this is the time that we really need every voice and every action. What they are doing here, like, I swear, if I open a video and a live stream for 24 hours. By the way, yesterday I was in the north of Gaza. I've go there to saw my home for the first time after they allowed us to go
Oh yeah,
to the
yeah,
north after the yeah. My home was completely destroyed, and I will update this maybe tomorrow or something. I will update soon,
yes,
inshallah. Yeah, it got a complete destruction. So right now, I returned back to the south. It's not my home. I'm still in the tent, and I think I'm going to stay here so like forever. Anyways, so in that time when I went to the north of Gaza, something happened with me that I swear I was walking in the street, and I spent, by the way, all my life in the north of all of these streets. So I know it like as my name exactly. So when I was walking there, I swear, since I entered the north of Gaza, I didn't I my home was so near to me, like far away, 1 minute or 2 minutes, and I was keep walking because I don't know this is my home, or I didn't know the street name
yeah,
because of the huge destruction that they have done, a mass destruction in the north of Gaza that even social media platforms, the activists there, they cannot even document this. And I swear, if I open a live stream for 24 hours to document the destruction that happened in the north of Gaza, it's something horrible, really, really horrible. But inshallah, one day there is a day for the freedom of Palestine, when
yeah.
there is a beautiful and a kind people like you, Tadhg, Hickey, and other activists and people who they are trying to take actions for free Palestine. Of course, Palestine will be free, and we will rebuild it more beautiful than before, inshallah. And inshallah, one day we will meet in the real life, not only in a live stream.
That would be a dream come true, brother. That would be a dream come true. Well, like you
Yeah.
tell me,
So
like let's keep in
yeah,
touch, and you tell me what messages you would like to for the West to hear, and also what tactics we can use and what strategies we can use and stuff. Because sometimes over here we kind of get lost in what we feel should be done, and
yeah,
we're not
yeah, yeah.
actually consulting people on the street in Gaza or in the West Bank who should really be leading what these actions are, at least theoretically, so that we can have that knowledge and put them into practice here. But yeah, that's so useful that you're. I mean, yeah, you're literally under fire right now. The trucks of
Yeah,
aid are
yeah.
still not getting in. So I just want the Western mind that's listening to this crap on their screens, usually from the Americans, that are kind of saying, "Look, the starvation is over. We have a ceasefire, so there's no need to care about Palestine anymore." I'm just the reason I'm hammering this point home is because we're at a dangerous moment, I think, in the advocacy in the West, where a lot of people who aren't very strong in their passion are going to fall away now, if we're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
careful,
I got
because they'll feel like, and that's what the West wants. They know, excuse me, that the global opinion of Israel has never been so bad. Like
of
this
course.
apartheid horrific regime, because of its crimes, everyone has seen their crimes now, and there's such massive global, I would say, hatred towards Israel right now, that what the West wants, the Western governments wants, is for the story to go away. So that's why they're trying to say, look, there's a ceasefire, done and dusted. We have a peace plan. I mean, for instance, what's your opinion on the peace plan? What do you feel as a Palestinian of Donald Trump's 20-point peace plan?
It's not a piece of plan. It's like we can see a piece of plan for Israel, for exactly the leader of them. I don't
Yeah,
want even to say his name, because we can say that he saw that all the people are against, and all the people all around the world, they saw the hate and violence and they are starving children in Gaza, and everybody know the truth now. So he said now he now like he realized that all the people are now against this person. Okay,
Yeah.
so he wanted just to save him. It's a piece of plan for him, not for Gaza, by the way. He's trying like to uh, 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 by the way, he's supporting him from the beginning of the war. Okay, so no one could believe that he's going to do a peace a plan for Gaza, but we hope if it is a real peace of plan, we hope. We just need peace. That's what we want. We wanted to
Yeah.
live in peace with freedom, doing our life like how every human all around the world have the right to live. We wanted to be educated people. We wanted to focus on our dreams, our achievements, because like for me as an 18 years old, last year of school, I've been stuck in 2 years in the last year of school. So like someone in my age have to focus on his future, not to focus just to
Of
run
course.
out from the bombs from area to area. Got 17th time of displacement, my education future like lost. Why we have to think about all of this at this age? So what we want is peace, yes. And I'm telling the people in the West that they have to be careful about what they say, because everything they do is not for us. It's for the that person that they wanted to save him. He don't want all the people to be doing marching in the streets against them, because now everyone know it's a mass destruction and a mass starvation happening in Gaza in a live stream. So everyone now
Yeah.
know that, and
Yes.
everybody in all around the world, they know what is happening in Gaza. So they are now just standing with justice. They are standing in solidarity for free Palestine, to free decent children. So that's why he realized, and they realized that, oh my God, the world now is against us. So we have to do something,
Correct. Yes.
to end this genocide. So this is exactly what they are trying to do. Brother, tell
Yes.
us why you have to choose satire to teach the people all around the world about the situation in Gaza. By the way, this is a creative way that you have to choose, and wallah, it's really amazing. By the way, today I have saw a video for you. The last video that you have updated today in the morning, I guess, was really
Yes.
beautiful. That's why I asked
Thank
this
you.
question.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us.
Um, yeah, Amir, I tell you, it's not really a choice. It's because like that's the thing that that I'm good at, I suppose, is comedy. It's always been the thing that I was drawn to when I was a kid and whatnot. And then when the genocide kicked in, obviously I didn't want to do comedy, like because that would be insulting in on paper. That's an insulting thing to do. It would be trivializing like the horror of genocide. But I already had good Palestinian friends in Ireland, because there, and when you come here, it would be my dream to show you around Ireland, particularly where I am at the moment. I'm in Belfast at the moment, if people know Ireland. And I've just travelled across the Falls Road in Ireland, and you will see as many murals of Palestinians and as many Palestinian flags as you will see Irish flags in Belfast. It's actually I find it moving just as an ally. So, inshallah, you'll come here someday and I'll show you around and you'll see all the
I
Palestinian
hope
murals
so.
and flags and whatnot. But yeah, but so in terms of satire, it's the thing that had always done. And I already had Palestinian friends, good number of friends, both in Dublin and in Cork and in Belfast. And they all said to me, like, this is a good opportunity for you to do satire, because you will not be trivializing the so-called war. You will be trivializing and mocking and sending up the Western US, particularly Israeli propaganda. And so I never even imagined how effective satire could be in a moment like this, where I have tried to talk to the camera and just like tell people what they should or shouldn't be doing, and people generally don't listen to me. But when I make jokes out of it, sometimes the jokes can be a means of kind of lowering people's defenses, and then they hopefully learn about what's going on in the world. But there's a massive job in satire, because the level of propaganda that we swallow here in the West, even in Ireland, I'm afraid to say, is so strong that we've taken on the American perspective that not just Palestinians, but all Arabs and all Muslims are not to be trusted. They're bound up in terrorism and they hate our freedoms, whatever that means. And I
Of
suppose the
course.
unique perspective of the comedian and the satirist, particularly one who's Irish, is that I know that that's bullshit, because I come from a country that also had people that we were supposed to be suspicious of, that were terrorists, not to be trusted, and hated our freedoms. So the Irish and the Arabs, I think, understand each other in a way that no other country in Europe certainly would understand. And also, I think Palestinian friends have taught me as well that the best means of dealing with the pain and the trauma of what's going on right now, and the best way of sending up the powers that be, is comedy, is to laugh, is to find the darkly humorous in it. So that's where it comes from, I would say. And I never imagined that it would have such reach that I met people from Malaysia, Indonesia, and Tunisia on the Global Flotilla experience, and they already knew some of my comedy, which was
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
bizarre.
So what message they wanted to tell? By the way, there is a people of Gazan people are watching this too. So tell
Ah,
what message that you wanted to tell the people of Gaza from Ireland. You're now the voice of your country. So what message that you wanted? Yeah, of course. So what message that the people of Gaza that you wanted to hear from you, like from
the
your
me-
opinion?
the
What do you think
message I
about
would
this?
like to say is that I am far from the only person. In fact, it's so normal in Ireland. It's so normal in Belfast, in Cork, in Galway, in anywhere in Ireland, to stand side by side with Palestine. You will see Palestinian flags and images, and I would just passed a house earlier where the door was painted in the Palestinian colours. And it's not just the symbolic support. We had the highest percentage of us were on the Global Smooth Flotilla. Our direct actions groups are always active. We're planning another action as we speak. We're trying to put our government under as much pressure as we can. And the solidarity, I think, that comes from Ireland, from me and a whole host of people. I mean, most people in Ireland are really, really supportive of the Palestinian cause, because we understand that Palestine is Ireland. It's the same cause, and our hearts and our souls are with you so much. It breaks my heart that I personally couldn't reach Gaza. It would have been my dream come true, but I know I will be there someday. I absolutely
Inshallah.
know in my heart that you will be free and that you will have justice. I believe it, not just in the next life, in this life right now, because you are an undefeatable people. And I feel like that's why the Irish and the Palestinians connect so much. The British tried to destroy us. They tried everything they could to destroy our language, culture, way of life, genocide, man made starvation. The Palestinians going through everything. And what are they doing? They're they're growing in power and force and culture, and the whole world knows Palestine now. So it's same as the British did to Ireland. The worse that the atrocities got from the British, the stronger the spirit and the passion for Irish liberation and justice grew. And it's the same thing is happening right now. And I was lucky enough to spend time with Cosby Mandela, Nelson Mandela's grandson, on the Global Smooth Flotilla, and he told us the story of South
Yeah.
Africa all the way through to liberation. And the parallels between Ireland, South Africa, and Palestine are so striking. I believe, like, just like
Do you feel
apartheid
there
South
is
Africa.
do you
Yeah,
feel there is a similar between Ireland and Palestine, in your opinion?
abs- absolutely, absolutely. Because if you take one quick example, so where I'm from, in Cork in Ireland, Terence McSweeney went on hunger strike in Ireland in the 20s, and through
Yeah,
his
that's
just
what I'm
symbolic,
talking about.
yeah, through his symbolic, this gesture of absolute desperation at the atrocities of the British state, that message went all around the world, and suddenly it became a global story. And it was one key moment in eventually the fall of the English control, the British control over Ireland in the War of Independence. So, two things that are similar there: the willingness of the Palestinians to go to, up to, and including death for the sake of their freedom. That's the exact same thing with the Irish struggle, right up to Bobby Sands and the hunger strikers in the 80s in the north of Ireland. So Irish, like Palestinians, much more so Palestinians, we learn from you. The price of freedom, if it's death, is okay. It's much raw. You would rather die than be under the boot of colonialism. That's obviously the story of Palestine today, and it's the story of Ireland. And secondly, the Irish story went global. It had the world support, and that's already the case with Palestine. I mean, the last thing that Israel has in support of it is the politicians of the US. That's it. The Israel lobby and US politicians. The
Yeah,
rest of
yeah.
the world, pretty much, in terms of the people on the street and governments, like, despise Israel. It's a pariah state. So it's only a matter of time, brother. And I don't want to come across as patronizing as if it's going to happen tomorrow when you're literally under fire right now. But I believe in my heart that this horrible racist apartheid regime is going to fall sooner rather than later.
Inshallah, inshallah, one day there is a freedom. I hope that all the world will live in peace, a complete peace, because this is what we
Yes.
want as a human being who they are living here. Some people, by the way, in the chat, they ask, is more flotillas are coming? Do you have any idea about this in the future or something?
Yes, I mean, at the moment, there's nothing set in stone. I heard the other day that the Malaysians, which are just the best delegation that we had in terms of the flotilla, they're just incredible people. They're planning something soon. So they're planning something this year. I don't
Yeah.
know the details of it, but I've heard something about November. That's all I've heard. And then I know the Global Sumud Flotilla group, the group that I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
with, their next big mission is going to be in the spring of next year, and I know that the
When
100,000 people have
Okay,
signed up for that already.
tell us when they intercepted you on aboard the global summit flotilla, when you was in the inside the prison, what exactly they have done with you? As I can see that you do have an, like, we can say, an Irish passport, right?
Yes,
So what
yes,
they
yeah,
have done while you are as an Irish person, what they have, how they dealt with you? Because by the
yeah,
way, as a Palestinian hostages who they released in these days, by the way, they have said they are doing stuff that even your brain cannot, you cannot
yeah,
imagine what they are doing there. So this
yeah.
is something really horrible. So we wanted to
Yes,
confirm what exactly they are doing
yes,
there.
of course. I'd love
I
to. Yeah,
think that in your opinion, not that much, because you're Irish, but
yeah,
as Palestinian hostages, they are doing so hate, so violent. So tell us about this.
of course. I mean, yeah. So from what I've heard, what we experience is absolutely nothing compared to what they do to Palestinians. But if it's of interest to your viewers, I will absolutely quickly document what they did to us. So we were sent to Kitsiat, I think. So it's the same prison that Palestinian prisoners are sent to. It's in the desert and it's near the Egyptian border. We were put in the same prison clothing that Palestinians are put in. We were denied access to water, so we are forced to drink the water in the toilets in our cells, which was kind of brown and clearly contaminated. There's no access to medicine. There's no access to doctors. One of us needed insulin. An older gentleman in the Irish delegation, 75 years of age, he needed his insulin, and we caused pretty much a riot on the wing. And still, he was not given access to a doctor or access to his insulin and left to die effectively. Now, thankfully, he didn't. But in the 3 or 4 days that he was incarcerated by Israel, he had no access to his medication. You've no access to your lawyer. You get one, maybe 10 minutes with a consul, like a diplomatic representative from your country. But to be honest, they were as confused and as frightened as we were. Personally, my cell were a little bit. We were causing a little bit of noise, and we weren't very respectful towards them. So we weren't allowed out of our cells. We had three. I had 3 days where I didn't leave my cell whatsoever. We weren't allowed to shower. No contact with the outside world. No phone call. Nothing. No, we weren't physically brutalized. I should say that we didn't get the kind of physical torture that Palestinians will get, but they did come into our room every 2 hours, so you're not allowed sleep. They brought their SWAT teams in and pointed guns in our faces regularly. Dogs were brought into cells to try and intimidate people. I think they gave us a snapshot of what they do to Palestinians. We might have gotten a sense of it. We might have gotten a small sense of it, but they showed us their brutality and their sadism. But Amir, I really want to say this to you: they also showed us how weak they are.
Of
Because
course,
when you
of
take away their
course.
guns, you take away their violence, you take away their hatred, they have nothing. They're just scared little boys, and that's why anytime they come up against the resistance in anything like, actual fighting or hand-to-hand combat or anything like that, they're always destroyed because they're weak, and
Of
they
course.
they follow an ideology that's got a real shelf time on it, and I think it's on the way out. So I saw a lot of fear in their eyes as well. You could have a guy who's armed to the teeth with his attack dogs with you, pointing a gun in your face, and all I saw in his eyes were weakness. So I think it's important to say that as well. If you take their guns away from them, they have nothing.
This is what they have exactly as you said. All what they have is hate and violence. Like imagine like a group of people who they are trying to starving children. They are not allowing, like you are. If we wanted just to talk about this part about the global sumud flotilla, it's like a humanitarian mission which is sailing
Yeah.
towards Gaza to deliver a humanitarian aid and baby formula to the children. So why, like, why did he stop it? If anyone
Yeah.
wanted to ask this question, they do want it to reach the baby formula for the children. So I don't know this war, like every time they say about the that this person, but why they wanted to stop this mission while it's only to feed the children who they are starving since 2 years in this genocide, and
Yeah.
still they are continuing them hate and them violence by even while it's a ceasefire and must be the Rafah border open as well. Since the ceasefire started, they didn't open the Rafah border as well.
Yes.
Since the ceasefire started, and they are trying to do anything to break the deals, or they have the plans that they have the both sides make agreement on. So and today we just in the morning we surprised to see that they are bombing us in Gaza. So we feel that we are not in a ceasefire, and the sound of the plane 24 hours, maybe you can hear it in the background, it's not that much, but in
Yeah.
the night it gives like a really high sound. So it's not a ceasefire, and I'm telling all the world, do not believe them. All what they have is hate and violence, and we do have all the rest. We do have our voices, we do have our actions, and inshallah one day Palestine will be free, and we believe of the freedom in Palestine, and the better days are coming. Big love to the activists like Tadhg Hickey. It's wallahi, you're doing so much, and you have done so much for Gaza and for the people in Gaza, and you have give us so much hope. Trust me. We love you so much, and thank you so much for having you here today. What an honor, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I suppose I better go and do some parenting, but before I go, I just wanted to say, like, first of all, keep in touch, and
Of
let's
course.
keep sharing ideas about how we can help each other. You know what I mean? Because I need to try and be able to do stuff here where, like, Palestinians have been involved at the very very start and are sending the messages back, because we want it to be a Palestinian led movement. We're a conduit. You know what I mean? The activists are a conduit, and it's important to keep remembering that. And second of all, if there's anything that I can do for anyone who's also trying to do YouTube lives and trying to do, like, if anything creatively in terms of satire, like we could try and work out some, I don't know, workshops or any sharing of ideas, please let me know, because I think actually what you're doing particularly is extremely, extremely powerful. We're in an age where traditional media can't be trusted anymore, and people are going to the likes of you, Amir, for the actual news going forward, because we just can't trust the news anymore. I don't know which TV channel to watch anymore, and I mean that. I can't think of any of them that are
That's
perfect
right.
in
That's right.
terms of,
That's right.
objective news. So what you're doing is very precious, and you're doing it very well, by the way. You're doing it excellently well. Keep doing what you're doing, because we need it.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm getting motivated when I see that people like you are trying to support and trying to give an eye of what I'm trying to update. So that gives me so much hope, and that means the world to me. And that's what keep me going and keeping giving all the updates. May Allah bless you all, guys. And thank you so much, by the way, for all the viewers who they are watching this live stream. May Allah bless you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for watching. And Taig, what an honor for being here today. I'm so
What a
happy, by the
pleasure.
way. Inshallah, we'll meet you again in another next live stream. May Allah bless you, brother. Do not stop. You have done a lot for Gaza, and we appreciate this.
An
Have a
absolute
nice
pleasure,
day.
my brother. Talk to you soon. Take care.